The following is a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
Remember a simpler time when it was okay to be weird, have fun, and think for yourself?
Well, those days are over. The art of conversation itself is dead. Sacrificed on the altar of divide and conquer and disguised as political correctness and spared feelings. I believe that unity can only come from truth, and that the only way to find truth is by exploring and embracing our valuable differences and having civil, open-minded, and uncomfortable discourse. Conspiracies, politics, religion, and all the taboo topics your family just praise you don't bring up around the Thanksgiving dinner table. We are here to literally change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. So if you're easily offended, put your big girl panties on and buckle up, Buttercup, because you chose to be here. I'm Dan Smots, you are the power, and this is The System Is Down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live in Bill is a Joke, at Bill is a Joke on Twitter's car, with the one and only Bill. Bill, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great to be in air conditioning now that a long, treacherously hot couple days are over at PorcFest. But yeah, we're on our way back from PorcFest. We're driving back to where? Manchester? Is that where we're going?
Yes, and we are marinating in our sweat from the last several days.
Yeah, the first few days, 2 or 3 days, were like just beautiful, like cloud cover and very cool and nice. And then today and yesterday, the days where you're like packing up or like running around the most because there's more stuff going on, those are the days that it decides to be, 90 degrees and very sunny. Bill, you are a New Hampshire person who does comedy and also other things. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about the weather? I feel like my whole body has swamp ass.
Yeah.
Like I have full body
It's called swamp
ass.
body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or were you asking me how I feel about it?
I'm not sure what I asked.
Yeah,
exactly.
How do I feel about what?
How do you feel about the fact that you are here in New Hampshire?
Oh, I fucking love it. New Hampshire's the best.
Would you say that if you weren't in New Hampshire, or do they train you and give you the blood cult ritual, whatever, brainwashing to force you to convince strangers to move here?
Yeah, my understanding is it's very similar to the Masons. There is a secret society and there's an induction process.
Right.
If you want to be a free stater, it's like I say, it's a lot like the Freemasons.
And that goes on at the Quill, right?
Yes, and basically anybody who says they want to be free, that is code for in a cult.
Yeah.
So free state means cult state. Freemason means cult masons. They're just
Nice.
They're guys who have a cult of stacking rocks.
The Cult State Project, I think, is the official name that they don't really say in public all that much, but I've heard it around. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then there's people who get it wrong. They think it's the Free Shit Project.
Yeah.
And well, they don't get shit when they get here.
Yeah. Yep.
That's for sure.
That's good. So, Bill, you do comedy stuff, and you are a free stater and all this stuff, and you're the guy who chauffeurs me and Jeremy around to film these videos that people seem to enjoy.
I'm pretty important.
Yes, you are. Quite important.
I'm pretty important.
You, the chauffeur who gets to drive the limousine that we take for Jeremy Kaufman's campaign ads, you're at least in a limousine.
It's true, yeah. Kia makes a very nice limousine these days, by the way.
Yes. I would hate that job that you have to chauffeur us around in a limousine, but at the same time, you're in a limousine. So, PorcFest, how do you feel? How did it go? What were your highs, your lows, your best moments?
Dude, so, okay, there's a lot to say. I'm going to go with, there's 3 things. The best thing about PorcFest is when you live in New Hampshire and there's all these people you want to see anyway, these libertarians or whatever, you're always talking all this liberty shit. You see all your regular friends from wherever, from outside of, I guess, the Free State movement, and then you see your Free State friends, maybe once a week you'll see a couple of them, or at one event you'll see Tap Room Tuesday is a pretty big event, you might see a bunch of them there. But at PorcFest, every single person, every single fucking libertarian that you've ever met in New Hampshire is there, and you see all of them, all your like the coolest ones, all the like most interesting ones, all the people who are doing all the projects are there to promote their shit, and even the kids are doing it. So that's great. That's like my favorite thing. Also, like there's so many eccentric and interesting people. Like there's so many weirdos and like,
yeah, we're out here.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so then if you're gonna ask me like how my PorcFest went, it was great. I'd say the best PorcFest.
You're like, it's great. But if you're asking how mine went, it really blew. Like it sucked.
It was the best PorcFest yet, because I think I did the most shit yet.
Yeah.
But it had its highs and lows, so I get to tell jokes like 3 days, which is nice. I don't usually get to tell jokes 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Usually have to be driving around a lot more if I'm gonna do that. It was all like in the same place. They put me on the freaking main stage. I thought I was just going to do it once on Wednesday for like a local show.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday I did that, like, I don't know, I did a whole like 10 minutes and it went really well. And they put me last. I got to like kind of headline the show. Yeah. And I did really well, and it was fun. And I felt like I was successful. Yeah. And you know, I felt like a hero. And the next day I went and I guess, you know, poor Dave Smith, his son died, and he couldn't make it to PorcFest this year.
His son died?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, deathly.
I knew that somebody died.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, both his
Holy
kids
shit.
dropped dead suddenly.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was the vaccines.
That's. I mean, that is the risk you take, but just you can imagine how much worse it would have been if they hadn't gotten vaccinated.
Yeah, no,
right?
well, yeah, no. I mean, they're in heaven because they got vaccinated.
They would have gone to hell if they hadn't gotten vaccinated. They would have been even more dead. Yes.
Right. But Dave, being a Christian conservative, obviously wants to get his kids to heaven the fastest way. So the vaccine is obviously the answer. Right. It's like baptism.
In a way, like, shouldn't conservative Christians embrace abortion because it gets kids to heaven faster?
Actually, I think if you want your kids to go to heaven, you should abort them because they've never had a chance to sin. Why would you give your kids the opportunity to sin? Yeah, it's like the leftists who are like, I can't imagine bringing a kid into this world, and like I understand that, and like don't give them that opportunity to be around these leftists and these anti-free staters or these normie people. Just kill them right away. Yeah, off them. I mean, you'd really be doing everybody a favor. Yeah. I think that's God's biggest mistake. It's not just killing them. Right away. Humans in general. He's like, just letting them be born. I'm gonna make humans, right? I'm gonna make humans. I want them to be good. I want them to live just like me. I want them to be awesome. They're gonna be the best. They're gonna be the best humans ever. They're gonna be amazing. They're gonna have the best lives. Right. He's very Trumpian. Yeah. Gonna be huge. Great lives. Yeah, they're gonna be huge. They're gonna be at least 6 feet tall. So he makes especially humans. Yours. He wants them to be happy, live the best life. He wants them to do whatever. But then he's like, now I'm gonna give you the opportunity to be horrible. Right. Right. But gonna give you all the opportunities to fuck it up. Here you go. You get choice. And then I'm gonna blame you for it. It's like, motherfucker, you should have killed me a long time ago. You should have aborted me. So you get a choice. Exactly. So that's where we're going with this. You get a choice to now be horrible, but it's basically like if I brought you into this world, Dan. If I was your dad, I brought you into this world. Dad? Yes, my son. Are you proud, Dad? Quiet, son. I'm talking. This is the longest we've talked in 30 years, Dad. Please, call me Pops. Sorry, Pops. So if you create a kid and then you're like, okay, I want this kid to be good and live his life, the best way I think is possible. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna put him in the basement and torture him, his immortal soul forever. Like, you're a fucked up parent. Yep. But that's what God did. He should have just aborted us. Like, hey, I had this idea, and you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna nix it. Yep. You guys, I'm omniscient. I'm omnipresent. I can see the future, and this isn't going to go in your direction. So let's just, call it a loss. Right. Like 50% of you are gonna just be tortured forever in my basement. Yeah. What we're saying here is obviously that we are calling for the nuclear holocaust to do what God did not have the bravery to do a long time ago. Dude, the reality is for the Earth. God created the transgender side. That's in the bonus. We don't talk about transgender side on the made-up side. I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. It's not happening. It's not happening. There is no transgender side. Guys, there's a very, very uncomfortable and offensive
conversation where I was running around the Mises Caucus tent last night for a bonus episode that is going to be coming out. If you're listening to this right now, that is, which you obviously are, that is probably out right now as well at patreon.com/thesystemIsDown, because grift. All right, back to you, Bill.
Yeah, so Wednesday night, I got the headline in Dave's place, because his kids had died.
Yeah.
And so I, obviously, Robbie the Fire came out.
How did you feel making jokes on the graves of Dave's kids?
Oh, I made only abortion jokes. I did 5 minutes. I didn't actually headline, but I did 5 minutes straight of abortion jokes. I thought they went pretty well. Not as good as the first night, where I thought I was
you filled in for Dave Smith, and you only made jokes about Dave's dead kids.
Yeah.
as the headliner, yes.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. What were you saying? Robbie and all that.
So I opened for Robbie and for that guy PK Chris Vega and Andy Malafarina. I think I got their names right.
Gotcha.
But they were cool. They had me open for them. They let me open for them, and that was great. And I didn't do quite as well as I did the night before. And then fucking Friday night, I got to. Carla texted me Friday afternoon, like, "Hey, did you want to open for Carla Garrick?" She's like one of the organizers of the PorcFest.
Right.
She's like, "Did you want to open for Lou Perez on Friday? Because if not, I think I'm just gonna ramble for 20 minutes and then just bring him up on stage." I'm like, "Well, he probably should have some jokes,
right,
before he goes on stage, right?"
I'm gonna give a lecture on COVID to bring him up, and
oh man. So I'm like, well, I can try it, at this point, I've just told jokes to everybody who goes down to the pavilion. Right. They already heard all my dead baby jokes. I don't know if I'm gonna knock them down on the third night in a row. And she's like, "Well, yeah, actually, and do you think you could tell maybe some less abortion jokes?" And my mistake was, my gut instinct was like, "No, of course not." Now I have to write more between now and then.
Right.
And I didn't do that. I was like, well, maybe I'll be respectful. First mistake. Don't be respectful.
Especially at a libertarian event.
Dude, and it was literally, okay, so Wednesday night, I make abortion jokes about Roe versus Wade maybe being overturned.
Yeah.
And other jokes. Thursday night, I only make abortion jokes. And I lead in with the whole Roe versus Wade thing. Friday, Roe versus Wade is overturned, and I don't make abortion jokes. I'm literally retarded.
Right.
This is the worst fucking thing I could have ever done. It's like, I should have just...
You should have just added more abortion jokes at that point.
I should have spent all day writing abortion jokes.
Yes.
At PorcFest, and I didn't. I just hung out. My girlfriend came up. We had a lovely breakfast, and yeah, it was great.
You had a beautiful romantic ride back to your campsite, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, dude. See, this is the thing where I get to chauffeur you and Jeremy around on your romantic escapades.
Yep.
You chauffeured me and my girlfriend to my campsite
yes,
on
I
our
did.
date night.
And then I filmed them. Whatever happened after that. That's in the bonus content. The GoPro was hanging out. You didn't notice that light on in the corner?
No.
Good job, by the way.
Hey, thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I've been learning how to get pegged for a long time. It's a lot, but I've been practicing.
You wear it well.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in...
She wears it well.
Either way. I mean, yeah. So how long you been doing the comedy stuff? Have you the stand-up in general? Where did that come from for you?
I wanted to do it when I was in high school, and I never did. As soon as I started, I had a really late growth spurt, and I got wicked awkward, and I got super gangly, and I was kind of funny looking.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was fun. But the first joke I ever wrote, it was my joke, and it's probably been written before. I would never tell on stage. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian because every time I stand up, people start laughing. But it was because I grew a foot in a year, my junior year.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the balls to do it until I was I think 27. It was 2019.
Yeah.
And I finally did it. And I started going to open mics in Manchester and in Concord. And funny story. It was the beginning of 2019. I just got back from California. I had bought an old car that I'd sold out there back 5 years later from the guy I had sold it to. He'd left it sitting the whole time, and I fucking drive it back to New Hampshire. It's uninspected. It's a piece of shit car.
Yeah.
I just needed a car to fill in for a little while while my Jeep was kind of broken, and I get back to New Hampshire after this epic road trip with my girlfriend. Go to work the first day, and I'm gonna fucking start telling jokes now. And I've looked up on this site an open mic, and it's in Concord, like a half hour from my house. I'm gonna go up to this open mic. It's at Area 23 in Concord. Great place, great owner, actually a libertarian owner. I didn't know at the time. And I go in with my buddy Cameron, and it's trivia night going on. And I walk up to the bar. I'm like, hey, where do I sign up for comedy? And the bartender, he goes, oh, I don't know that we're still doing comedy. You know, it's been like, I think a few months since we had comedy. Let me go ask the owner. He goes and asks the guy running trivia, or talks to him for a second. That guy passes off to his buddy there, and comes over and starts talking to him. Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, so we stopped doing comedy. We haven't done that in months, dude. But, you know, if you want to tell some jokes, you're welcome to tell some jokes after trivia wraps up. I'll tell the crowd you and your buddy came out to tell some jokes. Yeah. And I had never gone on stage and told jokes before. My buddy Cameron has never, gone on stage and told jokes before. So we end up, the trivia wraps up. He introduces me. He's like, and here we've got Bill Barger. He's going to tell some jokes for you guys. Now, everybody's paid their tabs. Mm-hmm. They've all finished their drinks. The trivia night's done. Right. He introduces this thing, like, they didn't know that anything was coming after it.
Surprise.
So they're like, okay, there's like a willing, they're willing for a moment, and I go up and I grab the microphone, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. And so I walked, they had a full house for trivia, and I must have walked 75 people out of that room within a minute. Like, they all like, oh, we'll look at you for a second, and they stood up and grabbed their coats, and they all left. Except for like 4 regulars at the bar, and like the owner, and the bartender, and like 2 employees over there, which I found out later were employees. I was like, okay, so now there's like 5-6 people here, and a couple of workers. And it turned out more of them were even workers than I thought. Yeah. And
so were they like driven out because you were too offensive, or because it was bad?
Well, I think at that time it wasn't. I don't think anything was super offensive of that set. There was probably something that was mildly offensive, but I think it was because it was bad. I just didn't. I had no ability to get their interest. You know, it was like I was just up there floundering. I don't think like my delivery or intonation or even my posture or stance or like anything. It was probably, if you had looked at it, every single thing I did was wrong. Yeah. The jokes weren't funny. They were probably too long. Like,
someday somebody will teach classes on this is what you don't do, kids, and they will review the tape.
Probably 45
You do
seconds.
not book a comedy show at the last minute on a surprise audience after a trivia night, and then do all of the rest of that either.
Well, so I plowed through my set, and I was like, as I'm standing there on stage, and I had my set, pretty well memorized. It wasn't a good set. I'm like, well, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. Yeah. And so literally, like that was the worst open mic I've ever done.
Well, get it out of the way.
One of the worst performances I've ever done. Yep. And I felt worse than that on Friday. After bombing, trying to open for the Perez. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, really?
It was so bad.
I missed yours that night.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't even get to that part. Yeah. So I bombed on Friday terribly.
Nice.
Yeah. Gene Epstein just like grilled me the whole set. Like didn't so much as like crack a grin or a smile for 5 whole minutes of jokes.
He grilled you, like, you mean like angry gazing, or like?
Well, I don't know if he was actually angry.
Asking questions.
He said later he was laughing inside, but I'm like, I didn't look like it, dude. It looked like you were like preparing like a novel of critiques.
Well, Jews are known to be funny, so he was probably just judging you harshly for being very not funny.
He is very funny.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
How come it's the one set where there's somebody I respect in the audience? I got a bomb.
Yeah. So you just bombed because you weren't, like, you wrote new stuff that day, or?
No, I had like a 10-minute thing that I was doing, that I've been doing. It's been going pretty well. And I had to cut it in half. I only had 5 minutes, so I didn't write those jokes that day or come up with those jokes that day, but I rearranged them and I cut. I built the set that day without trying all the things in that order. Not a good move. Like, do that at an open mic or like a throwaway show. Yeah. And if it's not going well, have a backup plan, which I didn't have a backup plan. Yeah. Except for like 3-year-old jokes. We're not gonna,
Yeah. So you caved and didn't do the abortion jokes, which is...
Yeah, I gave in to pressure.
which is sad. Carla, we're judging you now, and this is on you. You are the reason why Lou Perez's opener sucked so bad.
Yeah, you made me bad at comedy,
Yeah,
Carla.
that's on you. So, like, I've seen you multiple times do stand-up and do Soapbox Idol and do these things, which I imagine it's easier to get like feedback from a libertarian audience that agrees with you on the politics and stuff. You can make more inside jokes or whatever. Do you do anything, like I know you do stuff at like the Shell and the Quill and these clubs. Are there other, like, I guess you could say secular, or like non-denominational clubs or things outside of the cult that you perform at?
Yeah, I would say most of the time I'm not going to libertarian places or venues to perform.
Sure.
I don't really book gigs. I'm like an open micer. You know? I did a solid year of comedy in 2019, and then obviously 2020 it became pretty much impossible, and then things started opening up again last year. And it took me a little bit after things opened up to get back into it, not because I didn't want to. I was just doing other things.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now I'm going to get my toes back in the comedy. It's like, oh, no, I really like this. I should do more of this.
Right.
Every time I do it, I'm more drawn to it. But it's like, it's a lot of time and work. So unless you throw yourself at it, it's almost not worth it. So I want to do, if I just did libertarian mics and practices, I don't think I would ever get very good. I still may never get very good.
Well, judging by Friday, from what I've heard about it.
Actually, well, that's what I was thinking. It's like Wednesday I did great, Thursday was okay, and then Friday was
getting
horrible.
worse.
It's like, I should practice less.
Right. Yeah, that's great. So, what were some other highlights? Who were some of your favorite like comedians and shit, or speakers?
Oh man, so it's always great to see Robbie the Fire tell jokes. This guy he's just like very articulate and very funny. And
I spent an entire 3.5 hour afternoon filming Robbie in a cop uniform, and we made some Jeremy Kaufman shit. That's gonna frickin' be possibly some of the funniest stuff that has ever been released under the name Libertarian. So
good. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. So no, Robbie the Fire is always great. I get to host a couple, not host, but I get to like facilitate a couple of podcasts over at the Mises Caucus Lounge.
Yeah,
which was fun. But we did so I was I guess one of the main organizers of the Mises Caucus hub at PorcFest, which is pretty big. It wasn't maybe as big.
Thanks for asking me to do a podcast there, by the way.
Dude, I didn't even think of
you
that.
You motherfucker.
So we had a couple of ideas, and we also didn't know if we wanted to book a podcast for every day. You know, but those were like good. They were good. They had good turnouts. I think next year we'll do that. I might want to do like two podcasts a day. Like we'll have you come through.
It's a good setting, like a good like environment for a podcast, because I've seen them do them. Like they had Lines of Liberty years back up in the 101 stage, and it just didn't bring a draw because of the location. I think having that more intimate setting of having it by the tent there works really well.
Yeah, and even like it's kind of silly doing it at a picnic table, but it's like
I like it. I mean, we're doing it in a car right now, so who cares?
Right. Like it's very personable.
Do it wherever you can. Yeah, I think it's cool. Makes it unique too.
What was your favorite part? I'm sorry, you'll ask the questions.
No, you're good. Hanging out we're having a conversation. This isn't an interview. Hanging out at the Mises Caucus tent is always a blast. Just chilling was great because I had a golf cart this year, so I was very lazy. I went into it expecting to be dead by the end, and I was correct, but I don't have an excuse as to why I'm dead now. Because normally I'd be hiking back and forth and doing long-form speeches. I was basically just there to film whatever I saw and whatever I wanted to film, and we're gonna make stuff out of it later. But I had a golf cart also, so there was no schedule and no like real expectations, and so I feel very lazy now, but got way more footage because of the golf cart, and I would say my favorite part of PorcFest was the golf cart itself.
I would like to clarify that when he says he had a golf cart, what he means is because child labor is legal at PorcFest, he had like about 16 kids that carried him around on like a little, what are those things? 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have the leash in the front.
Yeah, the director.
Eight on each side on the big, what are those called? They carried like...
Children, I think.
No, they carried like Cleopatra around on them. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
do.
Egyptians. Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like a big hand cart that they, you know. I think they would peel and feed him grapes while he filmed.
Yeah.
It was good. No, he got the treatment this year.
Yep, and my bill goes to the Free State Project. They pay the kids. It's all taken care of, I assure you. Everything's above board.
Yeah, they pay him with coal mining shifts.
Yes, yes. I mean, kids would probably make great coal miners. They fit into little nooks and crannies that adults don't. And I'm pretty sure the way coal mining works is you get in, you just squeeze into a crevice and find coal. And it would be better with kids.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be coal miners if they were adults.
Yes, coal juveniles.
Just saying.
Yeah. So, what were we talking about? You asked what I liked.
Yeah.
The cart.
The cart was your favorite part?
Yeah, it was.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, I mean, speakers are always great. I went to a lot less speeches than before because
they're so overrated.
They're great, but I'm like super ADHD. So if I'm not like being paid to sit there and film a thing, I'm not going to sit through an hour speech of mostly anything. I think I stayed through all of Josh's, and that might have been the only one. And that was only because I'm going to use footage for him at some point, I'm sure. So
gotcha.
Just getting content and stuff like that. Like I went to way more this year and got way more footage because of it. It's just not like long form shit, but I was able to like pop back and forth between the speeches and then go around and get some of the family stuff and the smaller groups, because that's really where PorcFest is. It's not on the pavilion stage. Right. As cool as that is, and celebritarians and stuff bring out people that are, you know, certainly there for them. Really the environment and getting the people in their element in PorcFest. That's where the real value is to me.
Yeah, it's the best, man. It's like I was saying, like going around from site to site and seeing all the coolest people in New Hampshire, or even not just in, you know, all these people from around the country coming.
Yeah.
And some, you know, now there's people that I only see at PorcFest.
Yeah.
There's multiple people that I will not see again until next PorcFest, that I know I won't see until next PorcFest. And I'm gonna be super stoked to see them. It's like, it becomes like, oh, I've got my New Hampshire friends that I get to see almost all of them at PorcFest. Then I've got like my PorcFest friends, and I've got like my friends. So yeah, I see you at other things, but also like definitely at PorcFest. It's just nice. It's such a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the festival is like where all the people are. Listen, sometimes there's like 100 people at a speech, sometimes there's 300 people at a speech, and sometimes there's nothing.
Yeah.
Dave Smith's speeches, I don't call them comedy sets. They bring a big crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are great stump speeches. Pretty entertaining too.
Yeah, especially when his kids don't die, and that is.
Yeah.
I was bummed that he wasn't there, but it sucks that he killed his kids with vaccines.
Yeah, dude. You know, I can't believe that he murdered them.
I think it was in celebration of the overturning of Roe versus Wade. He's so conservative that he was so excited that he killed his kids in celebration.
Well,
I think that makes sense.
You know, he escaped. He escaped New York.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yes.
A lot of people think he moved to New Jersey. Wrong. He moved to, what is it, Virginia, where you can have post-birth abortions?
Yeah, Virginia, I'm pretty sure.
We keep the babies comfortable. Yep. You've seen that,
Then we have a conversation with the parents and ask them if they would like to kill their baby or not kill their baby.
Right. Yeah, and Dave Smith, he's like, well, the vaccine should handle it for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have to, but give me an extra pillow just in case. Does Dave Smith watch this podcast?
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, good. Good.
So, for those that don't know, Dave Smith's kids didn't die. There was a death in the family, right? That was why he wasn't there?
Yeah, I think Dave actually died.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't his kids, actually. We were joking about that. His wife is dead.
Yeah. Well, Dave and his wife have been murdered by the Clintons.
Nice.
I mean,
as much as Hillary, as much as I don't want to be murdered by you, it would bring me some sort of sense of pride and honor knowing that I was important enough to be killed, like Gret Glyer, R.I.P. pouring out. We'll talk about that later, and John McAfee.
Hastings, Michael Hastings.
Yeah.
That was the guy whose car took over and sped him in a new truck. He was right about the Clintons, right?
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
Speaking
it's
of...
crazy. They make like top headlines on Drudge Report too, but nobody ever, like, you never see it on, you know, another Clinton aide mysteriously disappears or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, or another former Clinton associate mysteriously found dead. Like,
Yep.
wow, hung with 2 shotgun blasts to the face.
Yeah, well, this last one, there was a
Full
guy
suicide.
who killed himself, and he was the guy who let, what was it, Jeffrey Epstein into the White House multiple times. Like, he was the door guy, who was like the liaison connection, like not really door guy, but he was the guy who introduced Epstein to people like Bill Clinton, and it was Bill Clinton actually, and he just died because he decided that he was overcome with shame or something, because he drove 30 miles away from his house to a location that had nothing to do with him. It was like this private property, park or something, that he had no connection and no ties to. He climbed up in a tree and then put a belt around, or whatever, a cord around his neck, and then shot himself in the chest with a shotgun.
Yep.
Just like you do
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you're really down on your luck.
as one does.
Yes. I mean, really, when I first read it, like, the headline is so long and ridiculously, obviously, you know, conspiracy shit. Like, dude drives so far away. The dude that did all this. I was like, so he hung himself and shot himself. That doesn't make sense, but if you think about it, you hang yourself, or you put the cord around your neck, so if you miss on the shot, then you at least hang if you fuck up the first time. So it's kind of smart. Good job, guys. You did great.
I wish I was home.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't call me Baby Dick Bill for nothing.
So the height doesn't match?
Well, no, I would be actually 6 inches shorter if I had 6 inches elsewhere. I got an extra 6 inches, but
You had to make make a deal with God before you came here. Like, it's like, you want dick or do you want to be tall? And you're like, I fucking love basketball.
yeah, and I'm still really bad at it, but I love it. I give you height, no coordination though.
That's right.
Yeah, God sucks, dude.
So, living in New Hampshire, what are your highs and lows here? What is your? We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because who gives a fuck? You people shut the fuck up about it. But I'll give you the elevator pitch length of time to try and convince me and anybody else watching to move to New Hampshire. Go ahead.
And that's why you should move to New Hampshire.
That's it. That's it.
It's just me. It's just me.
Yep.
It's this is it.
Nice.
Because you'll meet me. You'll be within 2 hours of PorcFest.
Ladies, I mean, come on. He's taken, allegedly, but
Oh, I am. Yeah. By what's his name?
there's enough to
Liam Neeson.
enough to go around. Yeah.
Yeah, no. My actual pitch to come to New Hampshire, I'd say if you want to be around people who share your values,
And your values don't suck.
and your values don't suck, and you're a libertarian. Like, as long as you're not a communist.
If you're a piece of shit, then you're not gonna be around people with the same values.
But if
That's
you're
what
into
you're
this
saying.
liberty shit, there's nowhere like it. There's fucking Manchester has hundreds of libertarians in it. Like, they meet up every week. You don't see all of them, but like you move to Manchester, you will make your next 100 libertarian friends there within a year, almost inevitable. And then like around the state, I don't know, it's just a fucking beautiful place. People leave you alone, you know. There's people will be like, well, it's not that free. Weed's not legal. It's like, motherfucker, I smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
You know, every goddamn day.
Yeah.
I can smoke this joint right now if I wanted to, but then we'd be clam making this car, and the audio would be fucked up if I rolled my windows down. So I probably shouldn't do that. That's not the point.
You make a lot of good points.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine. Move to New Hampshire. I don't know. It's pretty good. You know, I like it.
Fuck you.
here.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Listen, don't.
We
don't
have
ask me.
Kool-Aid.
Look it up. Yeah, if you go to the Free State Project calendar thing. There's a Free State Project, fsp.org/calendar. There's like 1,000 every day. There's events. You know.
Yeah.
Every month there's probably 50 to 100 events, and they're all over the state. It's like there's not a day goes by where there isn't a place you could go to like just be at a community event. Now, if you hate people, it's also a great place for that. Like, come here. Look. Can they see all these woods?
They cannot.
Yeah.
They cannot.
It's only woods. There's no houses. We haven't seen a house in like an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
And that's
good.
a good thing?
Well, it depends on what you want. I told you, like, there's hundreds of libertarians in Manchester.
Yeah.
Also, we have bears.
Are you for or against bears? Is that I'm
Well,
confused.
What are their principles?
Right, that's a good point. They seem to aggress on people.
Sometimes. I don't know. I've heard bears are a good thing to invest in right now. It's a bear market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bears are up.
Yeah, bears are up. Bitcoin is down. Bears are up.
Yeah. Also up is I think that I don't like to give financial advice or anything, but I do think that given the current cultural climate that we're in, people should really start investing in things like condoms and coat hangers. But again, that's not my personal advice. I'm just thinking like Roe versus Wade.
Bearcoin.
Bearcoin.
It's got an inverse tie to inflation. So what happens is when the market crashes, Bearcoin is up. So it's the perfect store of value outside of all the other stores of value.
Nice.
Because it's directly inversely correlated.
Perfect. So society's downfall is the rise of Bearcoin.
Bearcoin, yeah. Well, no. I think it'll save us. I think it'll
Right.
save us from the depression, because if you buy Bearcoin now, go to buybearcoinnow.com. You can have Bearcoin before the dollar collapses, and that's when people are going to inevitably put their money into Bearcoin.
Yeah.
Because it's a bear market. And they know they need to invest in bears, but also bear money, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you should at least get the bare minimum of Bearcoin.
God.
Which is one Bearcoin. You can't get less than one. It's not like Bitcoin. And they're worth very little.
I can't bear this any longer.
Yeah,
So move to New Hampshire, bearcoin.com.
And the real reason, if I was gonna say the reason to move to New Hampshire in one sentence is live free or die. Death is not the worst of evils.
I like it a lot. Now, as somebody who's fine with dying, who is driving my car, holding a joint, and talking about death a lot, you're going to be driving us around tomorrow again. You drove us around last time, which was a blast. Thank you for doing it. It's the underrated position.
It's fun.
As somebody who's watching whatever this is unfold, I don't know what's happening with this, but it's going places. What's your take on the Jeremy Kauffman thing and all this stuff that we're doing with these ads?
I think it's fun. I wish we could get them on TV or something. You know, I want to play that on WMUR in Manchester.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're a great tool that we're under leveraging.
Yeah.
More of them though, and more opportunities to leverage them and put them in different places is good. So I love that we're doing it. I am excited to bring you guys to some more interesting spots around town or around the state tomorrow.
Cool.
I don't know what time you want to start, but I already have ideas. I'm gonna run them by you. I think Jeremy, I think he's a great candidate. I would love to see him get into some debates with people.
Yes.
You know, that's where I think it would be the most fun. The videos are fun, but I want to see Maggie Hassan be and look at this video that he made.
Right.
You know, and I want to see somebody use the moral outrage card.
Yeah,
against
it'll
Jeremy.
especially be funny because like I said in my speech the other day, Jeremy is this terror online and everybody acts like he's this evil villain, and then you meet him in real life and he's just fucking dad who's just walking around barefoot with his kids hanging out at PorcFest and shit, just one of the nicest people ever, just knows how to push people's buttons, and I think it's great. And it's going to be great if he got in debates for them to act he's this scary bombastic guy, and that for him to just have the answers and to just dryly present them, because he does fantastic at debates.
Okay, so it's so funny. You're totally right. People have this image of that guy that is totally incorrect. He's a super nice guy, very generous,
Absolutely. More than I am.
And people are oh, he's this. I think they think he's some alt-right or hard-right, whatever.
I've had Mises Caucus people literally insist and try to convince me that he's a Fed. And I'm like, dude, I've slept on his couch.
Absolutely
hung out
not
with his
a Fed.
Yep.
Come absolutely
on.
Not a Fed.
No.
And I'll say his ability to piss people off is incredible, but it is nothing.
By the way, the Mises Caucus people weren't it wasn't Michael Heiss or anybody that. None of that.
It was Mike Heiss.
It was definitely Michael Heiss. It wasn't. It was Dave Smith, but he's dead now, so it's fine.
Yeah. So no, it's probably Spike Cohen, right?
Yes. No, it wasn't.
No. So Jeremy though, what was I gonna say?
Evil guy?
No, so he's actually way more. People think he's like this hard right guy or like, whatever. He's way more like of the left than me. Like, so for example, there's like...
He tried to convince me, like, I sent him war is gay, and he's like, I don't want to use gay as a pejorative. And I'm like, we're using it because it's perfect and hilarious. And also, fuck you. And fuck you for making me feel like I have to be the guy now to be the shadow Jeremy. The shadow Jeremy government that makes him worse. Now all these people that are warning me about Jeremy Kaufman and working with him and everything, I'm like, I'm going out of my way to make him worse.
We should be warning him about you.
Yes.
Yeah, Dan Smots is the real menace here.
That's right.
Yeah, Jeremy, like yesterday I was talking to him, we were eating dinner, and I was like, my girlfriend, there's a bunch of naked people at PorcFest that are kind of wandering around
here and
there. Mostly being pretty discreet about it, but every once in a while there's like, oh, there's a naked person right there.
It happens.
And my girlfriend was talking about it. She's like, I can't help but wonder if these people are like looking at us the way we look at somebody who might almost be a libertarian. Like, they're pretty close. I bet you I can convince them to believe in like wandering around. Like,
show a shoulder.
Like it. They probably like it. And I said that to Jeremy. He's like, I bet you they'd be able to crack me. He's like, I'd probably walk me,
I told Jeremy I was trying to get him to enter the nude Olympics.
Oh, dude, that would be a hilarious ad. That would be hilarious.
It would be.
Jeremy Kaufman in the nude Olympics.
I mean, I don't care. Y'all can do whatever, your freaky shit wherever you want. But, I don't think it would have been that impressive or interesting because I don't think that there were that many people at it. So it would just be like 3 dudes and Jeremy standing around throwing shot puts or something.
I think there was more than 3. I think it was actually not like the smallest event.
I don't know.
I don't think it was huge, but I know that at least a dozen people were participating.
Yeah.
And some of them were strapped. There was like people who were naked, everything except for a gun strapped to their hip.
Nice.
Throwing discuses, doing whatever. See, my problem with that Naked Olympics thing is if you like partake in the javelin throwing or whatever, you also have to partake in the naked wrestling. I'm just not doing it.
There's a line.
You're signing up for all the events. I'm not signing up for all the events.
Yeah. No.
Like,
all or nothing. If you're not willing to nude wrestle a dude in the hot summer sun, then you're just not dedicated enough.
Yeah. No.
You're just not a libertarian enough.
I guess I'm not Olympian.
Yeah.
Yep. not athletic, I guess.
Yep. So, what else? We were talking earlier about some New Hampshire history and stuff like that. Tell me some things. What do you know?
Well, I guess my 2 favorite things. So I don't know as much about one. I'll put it this way: people think that the Revolutionary War was started in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Battle of Lexington and Concord, I believe. The shot heard around the world, they call it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, little known precursors to the Revolutionary War. 2 events. There's the Pine Tree Riots in Ware. I don't know the exact history about that. I probably should know more about that because it's pretty close to where I live. Like, my brother lives right on the border of Ware, and I live one town over. It's like Manchester. Yeah, so I live very close to that. That was the Pine Tree Rebellion in 1772. Where I believe Ware was like, screw you, Brits, we're taking over this area and we don't believe in your shit. And then they had to send some soldiers. I don't know. So I don't know the details of that one, but that was well before. I mean, it was 2 years before the Declaration of Independence.
So are you guys like Dwight Schrute, where he's like, no, the battle with the whatever southernmost battle was, or northernmost battle or something, was Schrute Farms or something, and you guys are like, no, we are actually, we started this shit.
It's like
motherfuckers.
That. It's like that. And then there's another one, which is the taking of Fort William and Mary. Something had been going on, like I guess tensions had been rising. The colonists were pissed about taxes. It was like they were getting taxed pretty heavily. It was like a 1 or 2% tax, and it was unacceptable.
Yeah.
The fact that somebody could own 2% of your money is,
agreed.
Egregious.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the king decides he's gonna send some general over there to handle some shit, and the general gets over there. Maybe he gets promoted to governor. I'm not sure. This guy though, he's supposed to handle the rowdy colonists, and he's having trouble. So they send from England a shipment of a bunch of cannons and gunpowder.
Yeah.
And so the guy, he's down in Massachusetts. He's like, I'm going to go up to New Hampshire to Fort William and Mary and collect this gunpowder. So he goes up there, But unbeknownst to him, the colonists had got word of this before they'd had time to like protect them well enough. So they go, and before he's had time to show up for it, they take the whole fort. And I think like they kill and capture like 13 people without taking a single casualty, get all the cannons, all the gunpowder, and I think they hold the fort and then take all the supplies away. And so when what's his name shows up to collect all his weapons to keep these rowdy colonists in line, there's nothing for him, and he doesn't even have his fort that he was supposed to get to. So he was pissed. So then these are like some of the precursors of like, I don't know, that I could look it up. I had to look it up like every year because it doesn't stick in my head well enough. I'm not like good at the specific details of history.
I'm terrible at it.
Oh man, it's so I wish it was better. So, sometimes somebody will tell me a story and they'll tell it well enough, like, and there was this guy and he did this fucking awesome thing.
Then it'll stick.
But if I read it online and it's just like this amorphous blob of information, I'm not good at like condensing it down to like the through line. But basically, Fort William and Mary and the Pine Tree Rebellions both came before Lexington conquered. Both were skirmishes with the British. Both like heavily upset the king and the governor of Massachusetts, and so they are considered like the real, by New Hampshire people, the real beginning of the Revolutionary War, because fuck Massachusetts, they're statists, and they would probably still pay taxes to the Queen if it weren't for people like us cleaning up their messes for them.
Fuck Massachusetts.
Fuck Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, when we fucking get our southern border wall built, I'm gonna be so happy. Anybody can leave, you just have to pay to get in.
How much?
Probably about $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, we only
You gotta want it.
We only want rich progressives, and then we'll take their money because they believe in like not owning their money, and then we'll give it to people who do believe in owning their money, and they can never expect those people to give it back.
Like Jeremy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Send money.
Yeah, send money.
It helps. I promise.
Yes.
Yes.
So that new ad is my favorite.
Really? I've heard a lot of people say
favorite.
that. I disagree, but I don't care. They're all my children. But War is Gay, for me, is going to be hard to personally beat because we shot all that in that one day, and then I just had like this mountain of ideas and stuff to filter through, and I was like, that was the one that I was the most excited to work on was the War is Gay one, because I thought some of his lines in there were just too funny.
They're great, and the music is so epic.
And then
and you cut it very well.
I put out what I thought was like the best concept. I put it out first because I wanted to like put the best foot forward, but now it's like in my mind it's hard to beat. So I disagree with you, but thank you.
Do you want to know why I think it's the best? I don't necessarily think it's the best video, like the best video production, that's your jam, right? You're a video producer. I think it's the best ad for what he's going for the because it's not. I kind of see what Jeremy's saying when he says he doesn't want to piss people off by saying war is gay or whatever, like using it as a pejorative. And if you can make fun of climate change people without actually saying... But that's the thing, it's not even... war is gay isn't even being used as a pejorative in that. It's saying the act of, like, this war shit, they're trying to make it gay. Right. Like, they're literally... it's literally a factual statement if anybody was offended by it. I get you. I guess what I'm saying is you could have made that one climate change is retarded. Yes. And I think you would maybe run into a little bit of the same hang-up, but it's slightly less easy to digest. Yeah. With this one, it's like clearly the point is made that people who believe in climate change are halfway retarded. Like this is not fucking a winning concept the way you're pitching it. Not right?
Even that. Like I have my thoughts on climate change. I don't speak for Jeremy's campaign. I think climate change is bullshit. I don't even think that Jeremy Coffin necessarily thinks climate change is bullshit as much as I do.
Yeah, I don't think that he does.
But the point more than that is just the solutions that we're given are literally send money, it helps, I promise.
Yes,
and we're going to give it to Bill Gates to blot it. Like, these are literally their premises.
Right.
Him saying it sounds retarded, yes. And that's exactly what they're saying. Like, it's not even a joke. That's what they want to do.
But, like, the point is made without actually saying it. And I think there's something about that subtlety that, like, I like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, because... it's just so far that nobody could see it and not think it was satire, but it's almost believable.
Yeah. Oh, there's some people. There's some autistic enough libertarians who still think I think Dave Smith is a coward to this day.
That's hilarious.
They still don't get the joke.
That is hilarious.
And, to them, I say, Seek help. BetterHelp.com. Which brings us to our next sponsor. Just kidding.
Do you have sponsors?
I do have sponsors. Actually, I should give some shout outs to my sponsors.
Yes, shout your sponsors out, dude.
Shout outs to sponsors. Asteros. Cybersecurity services. They do penetration testing, and you can make fun of that however you want. You can make fun of that however you want. They gave me permission.
I've been wondering how my penetration's been doing.
Yep. They come in, they plug up all your holes.
PorcFest sticker.
Nice. They plug up all your holes in your cybersecurity, and they do penetration testing and lots of other words that I'm sure they love having thrown around. But no, they come in and they check out your cybersecurity, and they test it. They test for hacker. They basically do a friendly hack on your system, and they find all the weaknesses, and they plug up any of those weaknesses that they find. Check them out at Asteros.com, I believe,
yourself.
is the website. Protect yourself.
With code condoms.
Yes.
By Asteros.
Yes. Don't find yourself in one of these situations where you are having a cybersecurity baby. Abort that baby right now at Asteros Cybersecurity Services, Asteros.com. Also, JackCaseyBooks.com. Jack Casey is gay, and here in Pride Month, you have to support the gays, and he sells gay books at JackCaseyBooks.com. Get them while they're gay, otherwise you are a bigot. JackCaseyBooks.com. And lastly, we have
Bearcoin.
we have two more. We'll get to the other two later.
Yeah.
So what else you want to talk about, Bill? What's your favorite color?
Oh, dude, I don't like colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could just have everything in shades of gray, like an old
I thought you were going to
movie.
say I don't like colors. If I could have everything white, the whiter the better. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be way funnier than what I said.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to lean out of the racist thing, you know? I've been introduced on stage so many times as Bill Barger, everyone. The only comic here who I'm afraid is going to say the N-word. Give it up for him. Like, wow, all right.
So you have a history, is what you're saying?
I'm not afraid to say offensive things.
Sure.
Yeah.
In your act, like, do you go to that extreme in your act?
I have. Not, like, right now, no. I don't know, it's so weird. Like, I've been writing jokes, I guess, for 3 years. Sometimes, yeah, I've definitely said all sorts of horrible things. Have I ever said nigger? Definitely. Would I say nigger again? No.
I would never.
I would nigger do that. I would never do that.
There might be podcasts out there that you can find of me saying certain words, but you'll never find them. Go, look, please, present the evidence. They exist, I'm telling you, 100%. And also, you might have to pay to find them. So I'll take your money. Go find me saying those things.
Yeah, I just have leaned into it. I first started a podcast when the lockdowns happened. I don't do it anymore, but it's called Don't Quote Me on This. It was just because I wanted to, in the age of people getting canceled for fucking not wearing a mask outside, allow people to like say whatever the fuck they wanted to. It never took off. I think if I started it again now, it would do better. Yeah. I didn't know anybody. I wasn't like plugged into the culture at all.
It's all about who you know.
But yeah, I wanted to have a thing where you could make the most racist or offensive or like, you know, stupid point you wanted to.
Tower Power Hour.
And it was there. Well, it really was kind of like that, but it was just me.
Yeah.
And I did it for about 6 months, from October or something. Yeah, from like, actually maybe even earlier, maybe from like August of 2020 to May of 2021. I did like 37 episodes.
Yeah.
And they were out for a while, and then I don't know what happened with some of them. I didn't have an RSS plugged in, so you can find some of them if you wanted to at like an RSS. It's like rss.com/DQMOT.
Yeah.
If you did want to look at those, but I think there's only like 7 of them on there. And I don't pay for hosting anymore. I had whatever that fucking shitty one is.
They're all shitty.
Dude, it's so weird.
They're
It's
all
like
shitty.
you get these fucking. I don't want to talk about that too much.
No, that's
But
fine.
some
Go
of them
for
are
it.
like the. It looks like AOL. You know, it looks like it's from the 90s.
The main one, Libsyn, looks
I
like
hate
it was
dude.
made in the 90s.
Libsyn,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I use I know that nobody gives a shit, but I use Buzzsprout. I used to use Podbean, had shit with them. Buzzsprout's good. Their payment structure is bullshit, but they're actually modern, and that's literally why I went with them, because it's more intuitive. It doesn't look like it was made in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they have like different plugins and things that you can do for advertising that I don't use, because all my ads have to join the cult. You can join the cult at patreon.com/the system is down, and you can be a person like, what's his name? Matt something. I don't remember his name. Damn it.
Is that your one subscriber?
No, he's a sponsor.
Oh, nice.
Liberty Portraits. Matt Liberty Portraits. Don't remember his last name, but find him at libertyportraits.com. He paints all these people. He might even have painted Bill at one point.
Really?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably not.
Oh, yeah.
But no, he's painted like Robert Malone and John McAfee and just a lot of big names in liberty movements, and not even just that, like pop culture.
Like,
Paints Darth Maul and
Does
shit.
he paint him in person, or does he like paint a photo of him?
He does things, well, I think he does the portraits as a picture, but he's done, like he went to Freedom Fest, I think last year, and painted that live while Dave Smith was hosting, so that's pretty cool. He has
That is pretty cool.
You can get prints and stuff at libertyportraits.com, and that brings us to our last sponsor, which is CD. Moved to Florida. Just fucking do it, because people are paying me to harass you and convince you to move to Florida.
What's CD?
Florida is she's a listener and a patron, and she's been on the show. She's a member. She's a cult member here, but also there's people in Florida that are trying to get her to move to Florida, so they're paying me to tell her to move to Florida. And so CD moved to Florida because it is hot and not as free as New Hampshire, sure, but it's hot and has alligators. And is there any better demonstration of libertarianism than, drunk wrestling an alligator? Dave, you're not Dave. Bill, what do you think? Is there anything better than Florida Man to represent libertarianism?
As long as he's on heroin, I think it's the best representation.
It is hell.
I want Florida Man on heroin wrestling an alligator to debate Dave Smith in 2024.
I agree.
I think he'll win. I
agree.
Not Dave Smith. I
We
think
should start a
the alligator
GoFundMe.
man.
Yes. Florida Man versus Dave Smith.
I'll make a graphic for it.
I like it. Sounds based.
Yeah, no, it'd be fucking base as hell, dude. Especially if one of the needles falls out of the alligator, and gets into Dave Smith while they're
Needles?
debating.
Oh,
It was a heroin-addicted alligator, right?
Gator, yeah.
Looks like the libertarian bears.
Yeah.
For people who don't know about the bears in New Hampshire, the bears took over a town called Grafton.
Mm-hmm.
The libertarians
Now it's
tried
called
to take
Barreton,
over.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, no, it's called Grifton, because the bears basically just rode on the backs of the libertarians who moved in and were living in the woods, and then the bears moved in and lived in the woods.
Nice.
And then the bears ran for public office, and they got elected, and then they kicked the libertarians out. So there is a town that's run by bears. You can look it up on TikTok.
So you're saying the bears overthrew the lizard people?
No, the libertarians.
Oh.
But yeah, the
Well,
libertarians
that's-
were trying to take over Grafton in the early days of the Free State Project, and
Yeah.
there's kind of some really hippie, unelectable libertarians, not the ones that are respectable,
Yes.
like you've met at PorcFest.
Like Jeremy Kaufman.
Like Jeremy Kaufman, yeah, very respectable.
Yeah.
And so the bears moved in. They were like, oh, we see an opportunity here to promote our culture. Like the libertarians are doing it. We're already in New Hampshire. We're going to run for office. And they ended up beating the libertarians in a landslide for all the local offices. So I think there's like 3 or 4 black bears on the Board of Aldermen in Grafton right now.
Wow, they're at least diverse.
Yeah, they're diverse. Yeah,
They let black bears in those positions?
Well,
Or
only
the
black
white ones?
bear. No, it's actually affirmative action. If there was a white bear, they probably would let them on like much more easily.
That makes sense.
They have a quota,
Yeah.
but the Bears instituted the quota, so it's a weird thing, where I wouldn't want to be hired because I was white, but these bears are perfectly happy to be hired because they're black.
Right.
Isn't it? I just want to be hired because I have like nice teeth or something,
Yeah.
or like I'm beautiful.
I'm to be hired for my
nice.
real qualities.
Yeah, things that matter.
Nobody cares about your skin color.
Yeah.
Look how good my teeth are.
Right. Or because, sometimes in the morning I'll tell a funny joke and you won't be as grumpy because of that, even if I don't do my job.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Also, No, I got nothing. I was gonna. Nah.
Are you done with this? This joke? And
All right.
another
If you want to hire me for my dick, I'll do it. It's small, but I'll do it. I just wish somebody would hire me for my dick.
That's an unofficial sponsor, I'm pretty sure.
What? My dick?
Your dick, yes.
Oh.
I did not give him permission to give his own plugs yet. But,
Go to mydick.com. and you can pay with Bearcoin.
Go to billsdickisajoke.com.
Yeah. You can change your handle on Twitter now.
Yeah,
I should do that.
you should.
I should do that.
It would be not only humorous, but also factual. So,
We're gonna die.
yes,
We almost just died.
We did.
Folks, you just witnessed the death of Dan Smots.
And did you see how alarmed I am and how emotional I get when I'm put in a very tense position like that?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's always the same.
Dude, so you've been doing this podcast for how long? No, I mean
An hour and 2 minutes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
No, I mean,
I've been doing it for, I don't know. I've lost count. I don't know, 3 years, 4 years? You could check. Somebody could fact check this pretty easily. But a bit.
I've seen it a few times. I won't lie, I don't watch it regularly, but I've
That's
seen
fine.
it a
I
few
didn't
times.
watch your comedy show.
That's fair. But is it like usually like a conspiracy show?
No.
No, look, I guess
it
I
used
like
to
the
be.
name, but I don't know what it means.
Well, no, we talk about conspiracies, politics, and religion. That's like the premise that the show was started on, just talking about the uncomfortable shit that you're not supposed to talk about.
All right.
And then
race and IQ.
100%. That's like
Also a heavy focus. on
we
the show.
have a Black Friday every Friday where we talk about race and IQ.
Yeah, well, hey, polar bears
not
are smarter
really.
than black bears. Just throwing it out there.
Not really. So if you're just now tuning into the show and you're looking for Black Friday, I'm sorry, but you won't. You'll be sorely disappointed. We talk about all that shit, but it ended up being heavily conspiracy stuff in the early days because that's what I was more into, and you could find more conspiracy stuff online to dig into and share information about.
Dude, there's so much.
Now it became like, since it got, I don't know, YouTube shut down all the conspiracy stuff, so it's not in my feed. It's not as on the forefront of my mind anymore. And libertarian stuff, getting into that and getting involved with this stuff, I basically, I talk about the news and culture and stuff a lot, but I talk about what I'm doing and things like this, which just happens to be a lot of liberty shit lately. So, yeah, we talk about all of it, but lately it's been a lot of Liberty baseball fun.
Liberty baseball. I hate baseball.
I hate sports.
I hate most sports. Football's fun. Oh, that was okay. Did you see all the fucking sports happen on the field over there?
I saw a few, yeah.
I was impressed. It's like last year it was just frisbee on the field. This
Yeah.
year they were putting together whole football games and shit.
They had kickball and stuff last year. I didn't see the football.
Oh yeah, there was football in a couple days.
Was it like tackle football or like flag?
We wanted to do tackle. There's one guy who was organizing it for months. He's like, yeah, we're going to do tackle. It's going to be great. We're going to be planning plays. We got a whole playbook. We'll be running plays. We've been practicing it for months. Never happened. We got together and it was like a bunch of giant dudes like me and then like a bunch of kids. And there was no way we were going to put tackle. We
Could've
joked
won.
about it.
Kids versus adults.
Yeah. I mean, even if it wasn't, like, I mean, you're going to end up with kids versus adults in certain matchups. It's
Right.
like not going to be good. So it was tough. And my team won, so I felt good about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't play again, so I didn't get picked last the second time, so that's good.
Yeah.
Being a giant, I get picked first the first time, and I get picked last the second time, so not good. Like, oh, that guy's huge. He's 6'8". We're picking him. And then like, okay, well, that guy is terrible. We're picking him last. Okay, I hope I don't get him on my team. He's in the way.
Yeah.
Hugely in the way.
Do you watch The Office at all?
I have, yeah.
So, Stanley, the black dude.
Yep.
They're like doing like a game of basketball against the warehouse workers or whatever, and Michael's like picking his teammates or whatever, and he's like, Stanley, obviously. He's like, just because he's black, and then Stanley gets out there and he like can't dribble at all, and it's it's kind of your situation there.
Yeah.
They make assumptions, and they're very bigoted assumptions, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
That people with height also have the value that comes with height.
I have nothing of the
don't.
like.
What?
I have nothing of the like.
Yes.
No. If anything, I'm more useless. I always tell people I was smarter when I was shorter because I've hit my head so many times going through doors. There's a lot of brain cells.
Yeah. So
It's fucked up.
we'll end with this. You've tried making your case for the Free State Project. I feel like you've failed miserably. So I'll give you one last chance because there's a debate going on, at least with me, in my brain. I have Free Staters that are cult members who constantly showed up at the airport. I got here, and the guy who was coming to pick me up texted me and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes. Also, there's some property if you're interested in moving to New Hampshire that I could take you to." I'm like, "Jeez, man, let me get in the car first." Now we've got the Delaware people. I've worked with them a lot and helped them out, and they are some based motherfuckers up there or down there, depending on where you're listening to this from. But as far as hospitality, I've seen great hospitality from both of you guys, and there's a war for my love and my family, where I will plant at least my mental flag between New Hampshire and Delaware. So it is up to you to convince me to move to New Hampshire rather than Delaware, in my mind.
I will perform sexual favors for your
Sold.
wife, your kids,
Jeez.
whatever you need. And
Delaware.
I'm not picky. Hey,
Delaware. I'll be there. I'll be there soon.
My girlfriend's teaching me how to get pegged.
Delaware. I love you. You win.
Hey, when are you gonna? Can I see that footage?
You cannot. Well, maybe I'll show it to you guys later, and you can kind of review your stance, your posture. It was a little weird. So that's it.
That's it.
That's
All
what
right,
we're gonna.
dude, thanks for having me.
That's what we're gonna end with. That is his sales pitch, and I
Yeah.
guess that's what it
And
is.
if you move to New Hampshire, I will do sexual favors for you and your wife and your kids as well, whether you like it or not. I won't do them for you. I'll do them on you. I'll do them to you, in you and around you.
Bill, everyone.
It's been wonderful, Dan.
Bill, where can people find you, except for at toll booths?
At Bill is a Joke on Twitter. Thank you. At Hype Privilege on Instagram. That's really just pictures of bugs on nugs. I take macro photos of bugs on nugs. It's like a hobby of mine. I'm on Facebook. I don't even know what my Facebook handle is, but it's Bill Barger. You can look me up. You can follow me. You can add
What's
me.
funny is you rolled down the window as you started doing plugs, and
so
they might be.
They're all gone. So
it's
okay,
fine.
so
I think it would be funnier that way, but but no, go ahead.
yeah, you can just cut that all out. Yeah, I guess it's Bill is a Joke on Twitter. It's Hype Privilege on Instagram. There's nothing funny or libertarian or anything on that. It's just literally just pictures of bugs on nugs, bugs on weed plants, macro photos. That's my thing.
Based
And-
bugs.
Yeah, and I like weed.
That's part of your plug. And
Yeah,
also, I like weed.
I like weed. And so if you find weed at PorcFest, you'll find me.
That's true.
And Facebook.
And if you find Bill, you'll find weed.
That's also true. Yeah. I am the weed.
It's true.
It's like in Trailer Park Boys.
He's
What's
the
his name?
hookup.
I am the liquor.
He's the hookup.
The hookup. Don't tell people that.
Right on, man. Well,
All right.
I really appreciate it.
Yep, you're the best.
I mean, you didn't really have a choice at this point because, you were stuck with me in a car for 2 hours anyway. If we're going to talk, we might as well make it into something.
I actually made Dan record this podcast. He's
You
the
did.
captive audience. I'm driving. I'm like, dude, you don't get to go home. You don't do a podcast with me.
Yes. Favors, not only sexual favors to get me a ride home. I never know how I'm getting home from these things until like 10 hours before, maybe, at most.
Dan literally texted me this morning like, hey, was told you might be giving me a ride home today. It's 9:30 that
Yeah.
you texted me this. just checking to see if that was a thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, like I hope that that's not how that always goes, because if it was somebody else and they'd forgotten, because I was pretty
Right.
drunk when I was asked yesterday if I could bring you. If it had been somebody else and they'd forgotten, like you might have been fucked. I mean, we'd figure something out, but yeah.
I'm especially not too worried about it at something like this because I'm going to New Hampshire or to Manchester, whether to the airport or to Jeremy's, and like so somebody else will be going in that direction, certainly.
Hopefully.
Because everybody else is probably leaving to go to the airport or Manchester as well.
We're just gonna keep you at Rogers Campground for the
Yes.
year.
I'll be down. That wouldn't be bad.
You need one of the bears.
Yeah, I mean, I would go buy an air conditioner, but other than that, I'd be down.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah,
Wrap
thanks.
this sucker up. Yeah.
Thanks for doing this and being here, and thank you all for listening. And also, a bunch of shit's going to be coming out about PorcFest. Be on the lookout. A bunch of highlights, a bunch of interviews, and all sorts of things. So check it out. thesystemsdown.tv and anywhere else you get all this nonsense. YouTube, Odyssey, and all that shit. So thanks, guys. Whatever. Question everything. Stay comfortable. And I don't know when any of this will be out or what's happening next, but stay tuned. See ya. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.